Right guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about engineering and what it takes to become one. An engineer, it takes a lot of work. So we're going to go through the flow chart and what classes you have to take for school. I know a lot of you are probably interested in engineering since you watch a motorcycle channel, which is basically what everyone wants to do if they work on motors and stuff, is to become an engineer. So we're going to take a look at this flow chart, or a mechanic obviously, but if you want to make that money, and engineering is a good way to make money. You graduate and it's like an instant 80 grand a year, your first job. But it does take a ton of work. So we're gonna go through the process of all the classes and how much money you're gonna spend in college while you do this. So let's take a look at this flow chart. This is for UW-Platteville. That's where I go to school. We're gonna start out with the basic classes first and work our way up the ladder here. This is a flow chart. So as you can see, this is every single class you need to take for the complete undergraduate degree in mechanical engineering. Up here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There's 30 classes, not including the prerequisites and all the other, what's it called? I guess preliminary classes that are just like gym class, art, history, English. Oh wait, that is right here. English isn't here. But all the other classes like history and all that stuff is not included. That goes down here, and there's about like 12 of those, I think. So I think there's like 42 classes total, or something like that. And typically all these classes are for, as you can see, I think it says it, 4 credits like per class, 3 to 4 credits per class. So they're like really difficult classes. So first one, out of high school, I know you guys are probably taking probably algebra, right? Algebra, or a couple probably are taking Calc 1 and maybe, I think Calc 1 and Calc 2 you can take in high school, or maybe just Calc 1. But yeah, usually if you're ahead in math, you can take Calc 1 in high school, your senior year. And I think you can also take, let's see here, maybe Chem 1. If you're ahead in chemistry, you can take Chem 1. I think those are and English, you can take English 101. So you can get 3 classes out of the way in high school if you're already ahead of everyone else. That'd be really good coming in with 3 classes already done, which I wish I would have had done. So definitely, if you're thinking about engineering, definitely take those classes in high school. It will give you a huge jump start on everyone else. So it's a lot easier in high school, believe me. It gets a little bit more challenging when you get to college. You have a lot less time to study. So definitely take them in high school to get that jump start on everyone else. You'll feel really good going into college, just knowing that you can already kind of do the college courses. But okay, let's go through math first. This is calculus and geometry 1. So the calculus 1, that involves derivatives. So a derivative is, let's see if I can draw it on this piece of paper. A derivative is just, for an example, let's zoom out here. Derivative is just y equals 3x squared. It's a simple equation, right? And then you take a derivative, y prime equals 6x. So you take the 2, bring it down to the 3, 6x, y double prime equals 6. Or you just get rid of the variable right here. And yeah, and then you just keep on going. 0. And that's kind of what that is. This is the first part of Calc 1. And then the second part of Calc 2. Or Calc 1 is series. It's like that, 1 to 2. And you're taking a limit of 1 plus 0 and 1 plus 0, and these cancel, 1 over 1. So this would go to 1 on a graph. So you're going to have to like graph these and do a bunch of crap. And yeah, you take a limit and you see when 1 goes to infinity, and it's at 1 over 1 or 1. So that's basically Calc 1. I mean, it's obviously a lot harder than that. And then you're going to take chemistry. I think that was my least favorite class. I have everything. Well, it depends on the teacher too. I guess I had a really bad professor for chemistry for one of the years. So the next one in the chart is Chem. Chem for engineers is an accelerated class. It's Chem 1 and Chem 2. I took Chem 1 and Chem 2 separate because I came in not knowing like any chemistry from my teachers in high school. So I would suggest taking Chem 1 and Chem 2 before Chem for engineers. Chem for engineers is 2 classes in one, accelerated, super hard. It's a weed out course. So if you don't pass that, you can't move on. See right here, you need a C- or better to move on through these arrows. And as you can see, every math course you need a C- or better. Every physics course you need a C- or better. And it just goes like that. And if you're not good at math, it's going to be very challenging for you because you need a C- or better. And for math courses, they kind of do grading like this. I'll write it on a piece of paper here. Every math course I've been in, they've done grading where it's like homework makes up like 10% of your grade. Quizzes make up 10%. You've got test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. These all make up, this final, I guess this would be 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. So this is 100% total. So you could get 100 on all your homework and quizzes. And that's 20 points. I have 100. And then let's say you get an F on test 1. That would be 10%. I have a 20. So now you're up to 30. And that's an F on that test. So let's see, you get like a 70 on this one. That's going to be 15. You're up to 45. Let's say you get another 70 on this one, or 75. And now you're up to 15 again. 60, you're up to. And you take this one, your final. Usually you get an F on your final. It's really hard. That's a 10. That's a 70%. That's a C-, and that's not passing. So homework and quizzes, let's say you don't get 100% in your quizzes either. Maybe you get 50% in your quizzes because quizzes are usually really hard. So yeah, you don't pass. You get a 65. You could do one bad test and you're pretty much done. Because C's on tests are pretty good for math. It's not bad. Usually I get like B's on my test for math, but yeah, as you can see, it's not the easiest thing to do. So then you've got, let's see here. So the grading is very testy. So your grade pretty much determines on how well you test. If you don't get a good grade in the test, you're not going to pass the class. So you can do really well in the homework, the quizzes, and do really bad in the tests, and you're not going to pass. So be a good tester coming into engineering. That's another tip. And really know how to study for tests. And yeah, just be really prepared coming in, knowing how to study. That's the main key, I would think. And then we've got, like I said, chemistry is very hard. Definitely take that in high school to get like a jump start, or you're gonna have to take a class before chemistry to kind of learn about chemistry, the moles, particles, whatever, molecules, all that stuff is chemistry. It's pretty interesting actually once you get into it and you don't worry about your grades so much, but all these classes, you have to get a C or better, but your GPA has to be over a 2.7 in order to go on from this level over here to be like a mechanical engineer. So you can only get maybe 2 C's total over like this whole thing. The plus back here, there's more classes. So like, you need to work really hard to get into mechanical engineering. And then physics problems are like kind of, if you like physics, everyone knows physics in high school. I think you guys take the physics in high school. A general physics problem, if you guys like physics, mechanical engineering is pretty much all physics based once you get past like this point. So physics problems are like, if I've got, let's just use a motorcycle example. I've got a motorcycle right here, and it's going this way up the ramp at a speed of 40 miles per hour. How far, or where will it land on the ramp over here if the distance is 10 feet? And the acceleration, find that. And yeah, stuff like that. It's just like basic physics problems for physics 1. And then physics 2 is all electrical physics, capacitors, stuff like that with wiring, and just it's a lot of thinking you have to do involved in that. Yeah, so if you get through physics 1 and physics 2, you're pretty set to go for the rest of the courses. And math is kind of just like mandatory. You just gotta get through the math, and then you're good to go for that. Then chem, you only have 2 chem classes, and you're pretty much done for chem forever, which is nice. And then thermodynamics is probably one of the hardest classes on here. As you can see, I don't even think you need a C- to pass, but it affects your overall GPA, and getting internships, you need usually over a 3.0 to even get an internship. So it's like, you have to get a pretty good grade no matter what. Thermodynamics is like heat and stuff like that. So you've got like a cement block with wood on the outside, and you've got like temperatures in like degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit on these. And if this is all surrounded by wood, it's like how long, and this is like negative 20 degrees, how long will it take for the wood to reach the same temperature as a cement block right here? Kind of like problems like that. It's just a lot of work. Usually these problems span out for one problem, can be like 3 pages long, and one test is 2 problems. So if you mess up one part of the problem, obviously you get partial credit, but if you like mess up one part of the problem, you're already messing up the whole problem. So the best you can get is like a C on the test. So it's just a lot of work. And then what else we've got going on? We have dynamics is very hard to. It's hard if the teacher makes it hard. I actually have my dynamics book with me right here. I'm in dynamics right now. Let's see here. An example of a problem would be oh, here's a good example right here. So it says, the crankshaft AB turns with a clockwise angular velocity of 10 radians per second. Determine the velocity of the piston at the instant shown. This is actually a pretty easy problem. It says solution, the crankshaft rotates about a fixed axis, so the velocity of point B is VB equals 10 radians per second at an angle of 45 degrees. And then you just go down here, do the Pythagorean theorem, sine and cosine of angles. So you kind of have to know like basic math to do these problems already. And like all this stuff is super easy. Like you don't even have to worry about this math part. It's like understanding how to set up the problem is the main thing. And then you just get a bunch of these problems. Right now, I think, let's see what we're on. I actually have some examples from my homework. So as you can see, 20 out of 20, because I'm just amazing at everything. Let's see, these were actually not that long. Like that's just, the stuff we're doing right now is really long. But like 1B, a problem like half a page, that's not that bad. But let's see if we can find a long one. Usually they're, typically they're very long. This is this long. It's one homework problem, and usually like a homework problem takes about, sometimes it can range from like 30 minutes to whatever, and you're usually assigned like 10 per week. So it adds up. Plus, like even trying to figure out where to begin in the problem, that's a lot of work. And learning new concepts while doing the problems. So the next class is, we've got apps of electrical engineering that involves it just turned off. But everything else past that, once you get through math and everything, you can get a C- or less, I think, on the classes, but then you can't get an internship. So it's like you have to get good grades, and yeah, it's pretty tough. But anyway, these are the types of problems. If you guys want to see a couple, like, you guys want to read that? Or like this one, a good one. All right, so for example, here's a good problem. This actually takes quite a bit of thinking and time to figure out. If you guys like these types of problems, definitely get into engineering. This is like what every single engineering problem I've come across is. And you'll be really good at physics too. So that takes care of physics, dynamics, thermodynamics, stuff like that. So here's a good example. Okay, here we go. The mountain bike has a mass of 40 kilograms with a center of mass at point G, while the rider has a mass of 60 kilograms with a center of mass at point G2. When the brake is applied to the front wheel, it causes the bike to decelerate at a constant rate of 3 meters per second squared. Determine the normal reaction the road exerts on the front and rear wheels. Assume that the rear wheel is free to roll. Neglect the mass of all the wheels. So then it gives you the diagram, and you go off of that. So just like figuring out where to begin, this problem is pretty tough. The equations you use are given in the book, usually like this for some of these, and then you have to apply these equations with the rest of the equations you learned from previous chapters to make one thing. So yeah, that's pretty much engineering. And also for engineering, you are going to be studying, this is a good tip, wish I would have known this. You're going to be studying probably, let's see here. You've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're going to study, say you're taking like 4 classes, which is like the norm per semester. Well, actually like 5. 5 is the norm. So 5 classes. Depending on tests, I study for hours upon hours upon hours on the weekends. For just random homework and stuff, probably like 5 hours a night. 4 to 5 hours a night after that, after class. And then sometimes I have off a class, or like the 2-a-day classes, so then I can study like 7 hours a day. And then for tests, you have to study, because tests count so much that you want to get a good grade on it. So you have to study probably, I'd say about 15 hours per test I study, which is a lot of time. So be prepared to study, be prepared to fail, be prepared to struggle, be prepared to not get everything right all the time. Be prepared to retake a class if you have to. You can retake the classes if you fail, and just keep on chugging along. Obviously, it's going to make your degree a lot harder to get, a lot longer, but yeah, that's engineering for you. Well, hopefully that gave you a pretty good idea about like what engineering is. The jobs you can get with it are really cool. Like my buddy's working at NASA. He got an internship at NASA working on rockets and stuff. So that's pretty cool. But it's a lot of desk work. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do still. I'm not sitting at a desk all day. I know that. So, but just taking physics, math, science, I think it's a good degree to go into if you're not sure. Just always challenge yourself, I guess I would say from this experience. If I had to do it over, I would definitely pick engineering again, just because it challenges your brain. So you're definitely getting your money's worth if you're going to college. If you pick a degree in like psychology and you get out, you can't get a job, you obviously wasted your money in college. because you didn't know what you wanted to do and you picked psychology. So now you're stuck with that degree, not knowing anything from it. And well, that's just an example. That's typically what people say when they take psychology classes. But every engineer I've talked to has not regretted taking engineering classes. So if you guys are stuck and wondering what you guys want to do, definitely jump into the engineering field. Platteville's a great school for it. Super boring to go there, but super good professors, super good ratings, and super good jobs afterwards, after you graduate. Super highly recommend it. Besides the location of Platteville, kind of like nothing to do there. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. If you guys have any questions about engineering or anything like the course load or what to expect before, I kind of went over it in the video. But yeah, just hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave it here. It's 2_vintage_. Hit me up there. Or what else? Yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully this helped you a little bit, and you guys can learn from this. Yeah, hit a like on the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll be back to normal videos tomorrow with bikes, and I think I'm working on the what's it called, CR50 or the Allison R50, MR50. So look forward to that. Stay tuned, and hopefully you guys had a great day. Till next time, we are out.